Hey there, hey there. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Jessica Carter, the Peaceful Billionaire here. I haven't been live in a while. Full transparency, it's been crazy behind the scenes for the past little bit. And I'm going to give everybody a few moments to jump on and join me live. So welcome again. Welcome. Happy Thursday. I'm super excited to be here. Hi. Oh my God. Hi, everybody. Hey, Viviana. Hey, Denise. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that everybody's here. So yeah, I owe you all an apology because I haven't been on. I was having so much fun when I was going live consistently, and then sometimes life happens, and there's been so much going on behind the scenes. And I do have a big special announcement for you all today. But before I go there, I want to make sure that I provide you with some value. So there are, I love this. How many, if you're an entrepreneur in the chat, give me some yeses if you have a business, or you'd like to have a business. um, I love learning from other leaders. And one of the things that I remembered learning when I went to Tony Robbins Business Mastery is learning. He talks about the backbone of any business being marketing and innovation. And I always like to take things a little bit deeper than some of those. Than some of those than some of the other leaders do, right? Because sales and marketing go hand in hand, right? So sales, marketing, innovation, and the fourth one is leadership. So to me, there are four really profound areas that it's imperative for you as a leader, as an entrepreneur, for you to consistently hone your skills, for you to consistently level up, right? And those are those four areas, right? Sales, marketing, innovation, and also leadership. And to me, what leadership means is not only how are you showing up for yourself and how are you showing up in leading in your own life, but how are you showing up in your business? Not only how are you showing up for your clients, for your employees, but how are you showing up? What is that impact, right? What is that vision for the impact for the long term that you're looking to leave? What is the legacy? What are you leaving behind that is so much bigger than you? And also just remind you that that it's never too late, right? It's never too late. So anytime you see people out there who have achieved a certain level of success or something that you would like to achieve in life, know that you're not different from them, right? You're not different from them. I remember when I first got into the personal professional development space, and I was just I felt like a little peon in the audience. And I remember being so like wowed by the people up on the stage and, thinking that they were so much different than me, right? Because I wasn't there yet. And I didn't even know that I wanted to be, there yet. That ended up being a calling for me, was to be on the stage, right? The calling for me, the first time I ever went to a personal professional development event, I was sitting in the audience. I was green. I was new as could be. And it just plain as day, the voice, Jessica, you're supposed to be on that stage. And I was like, me? No. Right. So sometimes when you see people who who are brave enough to get on here and go live or go on camera or host an event or speak on a stage, it takes a lot of courage. Like, know that it takes a lot of courage in order to do that. And so that was not something that was easy for me, not by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. So when you see me when you see me on the camera, if you see me on the stage, if you see me on a live, just know that this was not easy for me whatsoever. It was really one of the biggest pardon me biggest challenges and biggest hurdles that I had to overcome in able to expand and grow in my leadership, right? Remember I said one of those four things: sales, marketing, innovation, and leadership, right? So one of those things was me having to not only be fully confident and trust who I am, but be fully confident and authentic and trust like the words that are coming and trust the words that are coming out of my mouth, right? So that's been one of the most valuable things that I've done, right? So there's always, being an entrepreneur is always going to ask you to rise. It's always going to ask you to stretch. It's always going to ask you to face your ish, right? Whatever that is. Hey, Mauricio, welcome. So it's always going to ask you to stretch and to expand beyond what you currently perceive to be possible, beyond what you currently feel is comfortable, right? So know that. So know that that next level for you is it's not leaps and bounds. It's not light years outside of your comfort zone. That next level of greatness for you is inches outside of your comfort zone, right? So you don't have to just jump completely out in the ocean to be outside of your comfort zone, right? To achieve that next level, it happens by those incremental inches. So every time you step outside of your comfort zone and you do something that's really uncomfortable, you're creating a new comfort zone. Because once you do something that is uncomfortable, it's scary. Once you do that the first few times, the next time that thing is not so scary. So I was recently writing a chapter for a collaboration book series that I was in, and what came to mind for me is when you think about how resilient kids are. And think back to yourself as a kid. Like, how stubborn were you? How resilient were you as a child? I was a very stubborn and very resilient child. So give me some yeses and some loves in the chat if that was you. Like, were you a very like resilient, stubborn child? Right. So children are great about that, right? Children don't take no for an answer. What do? They keep asking. Mommy, can I do this? 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 No, 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 no. Mommy, can I do this? Finally, mom says yes, just because why? Like, because she's tired of you asking, right? Yet then as adults, sometimes the most, as an adult, you fear the ask, right? So if you own a business, or if you're stepping into that and growing your leadership, you can't fear the ask, right? You can't fear the ask. You have to be able to show up and do that. So linking that back to childhood, though, it makes me think of like learning to ride a bike. I was talking about the comfort zone thing before, and tying it back to that, right? So you think about like comfort zone being, it's almost like rungs on a ladder, right? Like each time you step outside your comfort zone, you're like, whoop, I'm going to climb up to that next rung, right? And you do that thing enough times that it starts to feel comfortable. So when that happens, your comfort zone expands. So now you just continue to stretch. You go up to that next rung, and what used to be uncomfortable now becomes comfortable, right? And so your comfort zone continues to expand and grow. So know that like when you see people out there who are like really big industry leaders, really, really successful, that's where they've gone, right? They're continuing to climb that ladder and stretching themselves outside of their own comfort zone. And that's happening continuously, right? That's happening continuously. So I think about it, and anything that is new to you is always going to feel scary or challenging, right? So the fear, oftentimes people get kind of get tripped up and get hung up on, like, is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of success? And I remember very early on in my journey really feeling that was 100% real and true. Like like I'm super scared of failing, right? And then I was like, no, okay, I'm not afraid of failing. I'm afraid of succeeding. And it's like, wait, that doesn't even make sense. But what it is, it's actually a fear of uncertainty. It's fear of the unknown, right? Because you want to be able to place certainty, right? You want to be able to place certainty somewhere. And so you have to be able to learn how to create some certainty for yourself. And the way you create certainty is by making an attempt and attempting again and correcting and continuing. Now, you do have to know when it requires to pivot, but just because something doesn't work the first time doesn't mean you weren't meant to do it, or that you weren't meant to succeed at it, right? So there's the old saying, if at first you don't succeed, TRY, quote, try. I don't use that word, but try again, right? So I don't say that. I don't use that word because it's very supportive. And if you say that you're going to TRY to do something, I spell it, I don't say it. If you say that you're going to do that, it's just something that's not going to happen, right? So the shift, right? The mind shift around that is if at first I don't succeed, correct and continue, right? Correct and continue. So I say all of that to circle back to this childhood example of when you think about learning how to ride a bike, like when you first got on a bicycle, right? What happened? You had your training wheels, right? You had your training wheels. And eventually like you got brave enough where you're like, okay, I want to take off the training wheels. And then you're riding without the training wheels and it was super scary. And there was a lot of unknown out there. There was a lot of unexpected. It was scary. It was uncomfortable. And you probably fell off, right? Anybody ever fallen off a bicycle? I have. Truth be told, I've fallen off as an adult many times. Because when you clip into the pedals, sometimes you just don't unclip fast enough. So I've eaten the pavement more times than I care to admit as an adult. And that's not because I don't know how to ride the bike. It's sometimes I forget to unclip out of the pedal fast enough. But as a kid, right? Like what happens if you fall off the bike? You're so resilient and you're so stubborn that you don't give up, right? You're like, this bike is not going to conquer me, right? you're going to get up and you're going to ride it again. And eventually you get good at it and it becomes fun and it becomes easy, right? So that thing that was once uncomfortable and scary is now very comfortable and easy for you. And in fact, actually fun. So I say all of that to tie that into like, wealth and abundance and money and success can also be fun, but it does require you stretching outside of your comfort zone. But there are ways to allow it to be fun, allow it to be easy. Now, easy doesn't mean it doesn't require work, right? Easy just means that it doesn't have to be hard. Because if in your mind, right, if you have some of the blocks around money, that it's hard to make money, right? That it's going to take too long, right? That getting rich isn't for me. If these are some of the thoughts that come up for you around money or success, or you might have some perceived limiting beliefs around people who have money. You might believe that people who have money are greedy, or mean or rude, or a plethora of other unpleasant things. And so it's really about surrounding yourself about examples of shifting your perspective about what you believe is possible. And then, hey, Lauren, welcome. There's so many people have been hopping on. Hey, Pete. So it's really about opening your mind to some possibilities beyond what you might have heard or seen or learned when you were growing up, right? Because, hey there, welcome. So because you almost always growing up, like you know that most of your restriction or limitation that you experience around money and wealth and success comes from the parameters and the box that you were placed in, and those things that you heard around a child, right? Like so many people, it's like, grew up like, oh, we don't have money for that. We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. And you hear all of these things, and they're just not true. Or you've crossed paths with someone who to be well off, and maybe they were rude to you, right? But that's not always the case. So you have experiences that have shaped your thoughts and your beliefs, but if you open your mind to a possibility of what is beyond that, right? What is beyond that? What is actually possible for me? So you get to kind of strip down those societal perceptions of what is expected, or what is considered the norm, right? Strip that down and start to get really clear for yourself, right? Start to get really clear for yourself. So I share this with you. This is something that I did, gosh, it's been like 7 years ago. And I was 6 years out of, at that time, 5 or 6 years out from a really tragic loss of a significant other, and had been working, had buried and hid myself in my work, which was very easy to do because at the time in neurosurgery, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week back then. And so it was very easy to hide in that. So one of the things that I learned from that is that success is a very easy place to hide. Success is a very easy place to hide. So you can be achieving a certain level of success and still be hiding there, right? So that doesn't mean that you're exceptionally happy or that you're fulfilled. And the thing is at the time, like, I don't even think I was unhappy. I think I was just unaware of what was possible beyond what I considered to be normal. Unfortunately, my mother was a very fear-based person, and so we didn't even travel a lot. So even travel was not something that I experienced a lot of when I was younger. So I didn't start to do those things until I was older. So and part of complacent sitting in the achieved dream. Ooh, yes, right. So that complacency. So action is the anecdote. And like I was talking about before, like, just know that the action is the anecdote, right? So it is by thought. It is by thought that you create, but it is by action that you receive. And so action is the anecdote to achieve the results that you want personally, professionally, romantically, financially, right? Action is the anecdote. But you have to be willing to take some uncomfortable actions, right? And I like to take that a step further and say that you want to take uncomfortable aligned action. Like, it's okay for it to be uncomfortable, right? Because similar to the bicycle, anything that's new is going to feel uncomfortable for you at first. It might be investing. Like the first time I ever bought an investment property, it was one of the most terrifying things that I had ever done in my life. No joke, right? But it was also one of the most rewarding and valuable and best decisions that I had ever made. Investing in myself that first time around, 5 figures, was terrifying. I had never spent that amount of money on anything, and I was terrified. But as scary as it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So there's a lot of decisions that you make. Anything that you do that's new, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be scary. But the question you want to ask yourself is like, so it's okay if the action is uncomfortable, but the question is the action aligned? Is the action aligned? Oh, thanks, girl. Got one of my private clients on here with us. So when you are, it's about saying yes to yourself, right? But you want to ask yourself, like, okay, action is the anecdote, right? Know that action is the anecdote. It's okay if the actions are uncomfortable. They're almost always going to be, or at least the ones worth taking are quite uncomfortable, right? But know that once you take that action again, it's going to become comfortable, and then you'll get to take new uncomfortable actions. But the question that you want to ask yourself that's really important, that bridges that gap, that's going to get you the results that you're looking for faster, is the action aligned? Is the action aligned? So the goal is to take uncomfortable, aligned action. So is it aligned? Is it aligned with my core values? Right? Is it aligned with my core values? Is it aligned with the results or the outcome that I desire? Right? Is it aligned? Because it's easy to be busy, right? It's easy to be busy. And I've been so guilty of this for such a long time, right? Oh, I'm so busy. Okay, well, but what are the results that you're achieving from being busy, right? So you want to be very strategic in how you're planning and scheduling not only your day but your life. Like one of the things that I know about, with friends of mine in my circle who are highly successful, these people, myself included, right? Like you're planning your calendar like a year in advance. So like in Q4 of this year, I will be mapping out like the entire like plan for my business and some to some degree my life for the following year, right? Like that starts happening in Q4. So that's just a little pro tip there where you're really planning ahead, right? Because if you don't have a plan, right, then you're planning to fail, right? So you do want to have some sort of plan towards the direction that you're going for, and then be taking those uncomfortable but aligned actions, right? So is it aligned with my truth? Is it aligned with who I am? Is it aligned with my core values? And is it aligned with the result, the outcome, or the reality that I desire, that I choose to have? All right, so I'm not going to ramble on for too much longer, but because I did say that I have a big announcement for you. So right before this call, I had just gotten off the kickoff celebration for an event that I'm hosting tomorrow called Financial Fire Live. Would any of you like for me to share a little bit more about Financial Fire Live? Would it be okay if I did that? Yes, yes, yes. I see some yeses there. Would it be okay if I share? Um, so I'm hosting an online event tomorrow called Financial Fire Live. It is for purpose-driven. It is for purpose-driven entrepreneurs who might be struggling to burn through your current financial ceiling, or you're just at a financial ceiling that you're not happy with, and you're looking to burn through and get to that next level. And it is to support you in 222. Yes. And it is to support you in bringing maximum peace, passion, and profits into your life, into your business this year, right? Because being a business owner, right, being an entrepreneur, it can feel really lonely. It can feel really scary. And so it doesn't have to be that way, right? It doesn't have to be that way. There are really, really supportive people who are there to cheer you on, who want to see your success. I value, if you're my client, I value your success, if not more than my own. More than my own success, right? As much or more than my own success, because you winning is me winning, and so I've teamed up with 10 other industry leaders who are all very near and dear to my heart, who have impacted my life in profound ways. When I was that little green newbie in the audience, not on the stage, these are some of the people that I've met and that I've been blessed to work with and learn from, who have just impacted my life in such tremendous ways. And they're going to be there to pour into you. So you might have seen one of my other posts. I coined the month of April Show Up and Serve. So you'll probably be seeing a lot more of me again, because it is so important to just really show up and serve. And the whole show up and serve concept is not just about showing up and serving someone else, but also the challenge of receiving. So giving, right? Showing up and giving, but also receiving support. And so I really did team up with these experts so that we could support you and pour into you, and take those dreams, goals, and desires that you have for yourself, personally and professionally and financially, from possible to inevitable, right? That's always the vision and the journey for me, right? So you have this thing that you're like, okay, I think it's possible. Maybe it's possible. And I don't want you to feel like it's just possible or even probable. Like, I want you to reach that place in yourself where you know that the result that you have set out to achieve, that dream that you have, that vision, that goal, that dream, that desire, that it is absolutely meant for you. And I want you to feel inevitable in the pursuit of that, right? So that you know that you reach a place within yourself that you know with absolute certainty that you will achieve that and receive that. So I would love to extend an invite for you to join us tomorrow at Financial Fire Live. It is complimentary. I have complimentary tickets for you to join us. And all you need to do to join us is go to financialfirelive.com. That's it, financialfirelive.com. And you can join us with a complimentary ticket. And I have asked these industry experts to pull back the curtain and share their most profitable secrets. I'm going to be interviewing them, diving deep with them, going all Oprah, going all Oprah on them. So if that resonates for you, thank you so much for sharing that in the chat, Lauren. Yes, financialfirelive.com. So if that resonates for you, again, it's free. It's a free event. It's happening tomorrow. So this is sort of last roll call for it. It is happening tomorrow. You're welcome to join us. It is from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, or 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. So ideally, if you can be there in the entire day, you don't want to miss anything, because all of these interviews are going to be pure fire, because these leaders are so heart-centered, and like I said, have impacted my life in profound ways. So I know they're going to have make an imprint and an impact in your heart, in your life, and bring that financial fire to you. So I just want to extend that invitation. And so yeah, you don't want to miss a thing. So if you can be there for the whole event, that's phenomenal. Certainly if you can't, that's okay. If you can also pop in and out as your schedule permits. You are still welcome to do that. And there is a VIP option for anyone who wants VIP. That option is available to you. Once you grab your complimentary ticket, you'll learn more about the VIP option. But I'm not here to sell to you. I'm simply here to invite you, because I'm the one who coined April, the month Show Up and Serve. So I'm not here to sell to you in any ways, but to extend an invite to you, and a complimentary ticket for you to get access to these exclusive interviews with these extraordinary leaders that I have partnered up with. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be extra fired up. So definitely don't want to miss it. That's it. That is it. Happy Thursday. I can stay on for a moment if anybody has questions. Does anybody have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer before I hop off? Quickly let me know in the chat if you happen to have a question. Happy to answer. Otherwise, if you join us tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow, or I will see you on another live soon, because I really have missed going live. I really have missed going live. I don't see any questions. All right. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday. And I definitely hope to see you tomorrow. And if I don't, I'll see you on here again soon. Bye for now.